Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. We got another one for you. Another great edition of Bringing It in the House podcast show where we spotlight musicians, entertainers, artists, and leaders. Get your meal. Fantastic meal tonight. He's a saxophonist and so much more. Let's give it up for Terry Thomas. Woo!
Thank you.
Terry.
Thank you for having me, Millie.
Wow.
Glad to be here.
You are so welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by because I'm thinking back on how all this came to pass.
Yeah.
I went to the sorority, our sorority, Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority, a Founders Day program, and there you were blowing your heart out. I'm like, whoa. This guy is amazing. And one of my sorors nudged me and said, you need to get him on the show. And I was already kind of thinking that, but I didn't want to say it out loud. And now here you are.
But thank you. That was an honor and a privilege to play for Alpha Kappa Alpha Incorporated. At the Founders Day event. Really appreciate you and your sisters for having me. Really enjoyed it. And thank you for the compliment. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, you are amazing. Guys, you should have been there. I mean, he walked around the room while playing, never missing a note, never squealing, just Terry, how long have you been playing saxophone?
I've been playing since fifth grade. Started
I
in fifth grade and was able to play all the way through college. Even in college, I switched for a minute and well, not I added tuba to my list of instruments that I can play. So in the marching band, I played tuba, but saxophone has always been my main instrument. And so after college, continued to play and was able to play all through my corporate life as well.
Yeah, that's what I was reading. You played a lot of corporate settings, a lot of events. Kappa Alpha Psi, of course, our sorority, for BMI and a lot of other major organizations. That is amazing. Hey,
Mhm.
tell us a little bit more about that. How did
Yeah.
you get into that arena?
So I started my background, of course, when you're at school, you're playing the sheet music and playing what
Mhm,
the band directors want you to play. In
mhm,
college, there were two professors that really made an impression on me. One, Mark Phillips, and one, George Edwards, at the Prairie View A&M University, right for under.
mhm,
And I was really impressed with George Edwards because not only was he a band director, but he also performed, right? And
mhm,
kind of quiet, but he performed different places, on the side. And Mark Phillips really, we call him Prof Phillips, really
mhm,
enabled me to step out and take on tuba as well. So those two things, speeding to post college, postgraduate, right? I'm still
mhm.
playing, but I'm still playing in church, and I had offers to play for different weddings, Millie. And so I started playing for other weddings, and then that turned into an opportunity to play at Sullivan's, ringside Sullivan's, and that just branched off into really getting more popular and well known in the Austin area. And my fraternity brothers, Kappa Alpha Psi, really invested and took a chance on me helping, launch off our first Fridays at that time. And that just took on you know, one event after another, from fraternities, sororities, to also corporations as well. My tenure at IBM also helped with that, right? So I was
Mhm.
very successful, not only engineer, but eventually manager and eventually an executive in my partnerships with other companies like Dell and other
Mhm.
companies like VMware and you name it. Gave me an opportunity as they figured out, wait a minute, this guy, are you the same guy that's a musician? Or can you play for our event as well? Of course, I would say yes. So that's kind of the nutshell in the journey of how I was able to play in so many different venues for so many people. I've also had a great opportunity to open up and perform with a lot of great artists as well.
Yeah, that's what I saw. I read that too. I mean, you've opened up for major acts. I mean, tell us about some of those major artists you've opened for.
I'd say the favorite is Frankie Beverly and Mays. Right, that was a great opportunity, and still remembered it still remember it today, how I felt, how the band felt. Shaka Khan is another very memorable experience, opening for Shaka. Yolanda Adams is another one. I learned a lot from that that experience as well.
Mhm.
Uh, and one of my great friends, I like to think he's a superstar, and we probably heard of him, and others probably heard of him as well. Chester D.T. Baldwin.
Okay.
So he's a gospel recording artist, and really, he and I worked closer together on me learning how to write songs, me
Mhm.
learning how to really position myself um, in the midst of a very popular and strong choir and other musicians as well. So I really learned a lot under his mentorship as well.
It is amazing. That is so good. We have people tuning in. Looks like Danielle Berry on YouTube. She said, "Happy Saturday, hi."
Yeah.
So much, Danielle. Amazing. Now, Terry, where are you originally from? You're not from Austin originally, right?
Originally, I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
What?
Baton,
Baton Rouge.
yeah, yeah, I still call that. That's really my core home. Right. In the middle of my senior year, I moved to Austin with my mother, and my mother was working at IBM. So in the middle, I want to say the middle, like October, you're celebrating your senior now, right? So now I'm
Um,
happy and, you know, with my friends, but it was the best move that could have happened for me, right? Because it really opened my eyes to a lot of different connections and,
opportunity.
experiences and opportunities. My
Mhm.
first day, for example, my first day in Austin as a student, I ran into three dear friends of mine. We're still friends today. That was Chris Lands, Patrick Woods, and Michael Hayes. And those guys really helped me start playing in church, right? So think of all the students you could have met before, just how good God is, right?
Mhm.
I'm looking to try to basically recreate what I was doing in Baton Rouge, right? And I
Mhm.
wasn't playing in churches during that time. I was really just a student saxophone, right? Go to school, play your saxophone.
Mhm. Mhm.
First day, run into those young men and them saying, "Hey, we have a band. You play saxophone. Why don't you come to our church and play?" And I'm like, I don't have anything else to do, right? So yeah, I'll come through. And that created a bond that still exists today, and that probably can never be broken. And so, say the question again because I started
Mhm.
talking a lot
Yeah,
about
that's okay. That's
Baton
okay.
Rouge, right? But I always go back and visit Baton Rouge. My friends, we have group chats. I have a group chat with several of my friends from Baton Rouge.
Mhm.
We communicate on a weekly basis, if not daily. Uh,
Daily.
so that's still home. Um, but coming to Texas just opened up so many opportunities for me that I know I would not have had if I just stayed in Baton Rouge.
Right, right. I do understand. Do you know someone named Lori? Because they're trying to get on backstage.
Oh, wow. I know a lot of people named Lori. Um,
I didn't know if they were with you because some
oh,
kind of way. Okay,
yeah.
they were requesting to get on backstage. So I said, well, maybe I don't know because you are with a band as well. You've been with what is it called? All You Need,
Oh,
right?
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't know if that was one of the band members or somebody affiliated with the band that's trying to get in or
Uh,
wants to get on.
no, maybe she wants to be a part of the band. Oh,
Maybe so. Maybe so. And then, okay, so yeah, we're talking about the band All You Need. Now, how long have you been with them? And kind of tell us how that story, how that connection developed.
so I'll try to make this um, real short and summarize it. So that same gentleman, Chris Lands,
Uh-huh.
he's a bishop today in Austin. Um, we were in college, and I started getting offers to because I would play in talent shows and play around campus. Well, a dean came to me and said, "Hey, can you play for our banquet? How much do you charge?" So I had to make up a number, but I didn't have a band, Millie. right?
Right.
So at that time, I didn't have a band, and I'm fresh at Prairie View. I just transferred from Grambling to Prairie View. So I played in some churches, right? I played in a couple of talent shows and things, and people started to get to know me, and they assumed I had a band, or they assumed I could get one. Well, I knew Chris, right?
Right. Right.
Chris and I tried to hire a keyboard player who was very good, but he was nervous and didn't want to step out and play in front of a big audience.
Mhm.
A drummer, but he was nervous too. So Chris and I were talking, and we say, you know what, we can do this. We got all they need. We're all they really need, right? A bass and a saxophone. All you need.
That's it.
So that's how that name came about.
That's how it came about. And I'm sure the band kind of grew a little bit since then. How many members
Oh
now?
yeah. So it kind of, it had a life of its own in college. It took
Mm-hmm.
another form post college, post college, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now I'm working at IBM, and the same thing when you think about it, as I reflect. I started playing in weddings, and I was playing at church with Chester, right, and touring around the world, around the country with Chester as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I started getting requests for, hey, can you play here? Can you play at this venue? And can you play at this venue? And so now I had a little bit more stronger connections with musicians, right? And so it took up a new form. Chris wasn't a part of this phase, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was able to get a drummer, a bass player, a trumpet player as well, and a singer, right, and guitar player. And that took on the current chapter of what I consider All You Need to Be, which is a true jazz, R&B, funk type of band, right? And those guys, that was in 2001.
Mm-hmm.
We are still together today.
Really? That's amazing.
Yeah,
Over 20 years.
yeah. We're family, right? We're family. Some of these guys have gone on to win Grammys, and and do a lot of great things. And when I called them again, because I had to take a break for like 3 or 4 years to some corporate America work that I was doing. When I called them, they were like, "Hey, yeah, we're ready. Let's do it. When?" No hesitation. So yeah, we're brothers and sisters. Andrea Bridgman, who has her own band as well, she's still of All You Need.
Oh, that is so good. Someone on YouTube, our name is Sinks underscore Rocket League. He said the saxophone is sick. It is. It's really good. It's so good. Tell everyone how they can see some of your clips. I know you have a YouTube channel, right?
Yes, I do. You can just Google saxophonist Terry Thomas. But the simple way, if you go to terrytmusic.com, that's TERRY music.com, you'll see all of my social media links, right? Which includes YouTube and Instagram and TikTok, as well as some of the video clips there as well as my schedule also.
There you go. Wow, you get to see his whole lineup right there. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
And you've been so busy. Man, speaking of a lineup, you just played at South by just last weekend. You were so busy. I was like, oh my gosh, this man, look at that. These are some of the highlights here. He played at the Hybrid Effect event, sponsored by Southwest, of course, at the Butler Pitch and Putt. And you were also at the Zodiac Cigar in Round Rock and at Austin's Own Salt, all sponsored by Southwest. And then you are going to be, these are some of your upcoming events. Easter Sunday, you're going to be at Austin's Own Salt again from 12 to 3. I'm going to try to get by there.
Please do.
Yeah, show my support.
Like, tell me what you want to hear, and I'll make sure to play it for you when I see you there too.
Freddie Jackson. Have you ever loved somebody? Have you ever loved somebody? You know that song, right? I
Bye.
love you.
Yeah. I know
Oh
exactly.
my
I'm
gosh.
gonna write that down so I don't forget.
I can't really stand to hear that song now. I tear up. I tear up because that was our song we sang when we pledged, aka we changed the words. Yeah, we said, "We love Alpha Kappa Alpha. Do you love Alpha Kappa Alpha?" That was our probate song because Alpha Kappa Alpha loves you. Yeah, yeah. And we were like, "If you don't know the way."
You guys sang the whole song then.
Pretty much. That was a probate show, probate night,
Yeah.
University of Arkansas Pine Bluff. Yep.
Oh, that is
Yes,
so
that
good.
is really good. And so just thinking about that just brings back so many memories.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
good
How
times.
many line sisters did you have?
12, 13 including me, but I had 12 line sisters and we're all still here. We're all still on earth. Thank God we're all still alive.
Mm-hmm.
We just celebrated our anniversary earlier this month because we crossed over March 5th. Sometimes I get it confused. Sometimes I say March 6th. That's how I know I'm getting old. But March 5th of 1987. A long time, huh? Long time ago.
Lies, yeah. Good time.
Yeah. So
I definitely want to play that for you. I'm gonna add it to my repertoire and play it from now on. That's a great. That's a
That's
great.
a great song. But I mean, Freddie had some really good ones. Rock was it Jam Tonight and Rock You. I want to rock
Yeah, and You Are My Lady.
you. Oh, that was his. Now that was like his staple, like a classic.
Yeah,
He'll be forever known for
yeah.
"You Are My Lady." I do believe that.
And
That's
I
one of
opened up. There's so many people I opened up for and played with. It's not on my website, but now I need to. I remember. I'll add it. But in Killeen, he came to
the.
Killeen several years ago, and I had the honor of opening up for him as well.
Yeah, that man. I know that was an honor indeed.
Yeah,
Him and Luther Vandross back in the mid '80s to early '90s. They yeah,
yeah.
they were kings. They were kings.
And they made
Yeah,
it look easy. They
they
made singing and that type of endurance when it comes to keeping an audience entertained for that
yeah.
hours without dancing and taking off your clothes, right? They
Yes,
made it look easy. That's a skill. That's a
that
talent.
is a skill.
Keep an audience captivated
Yes.
just on your God given talent and the breath that's coming out of your body, right?
Yes,
Really,
Anita Baker too. She was one of those that could do that as well.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just no dancing. They could just stand there and hold your attention.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, that's amazing. This you're really taking me back down through there, just talking about all these beautiful moments that you've experienced. Oh my gosh! And you say you started playing at the age of 5. I mean, 5. Did I
Well,
say that?
fifth
Fifth
grade.
grade. Fifth grade.
Mhm.
So was that your first music teacher or?
No, that was my first. I guess you'd say real instrument. I played around with guitars, drums, keyboards. My
Uh-huh.
parents, when I was a little kid, I always had a dream of having my own band. I was literally 5 years old, saying one day I'm going to have my own band. Right. I was even writing songs and daydreaming about having a band. So in my room, um, we go to the garage. You call these garage sales, right?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Um, I would pick out. I remember saying, "Okay, I see an organ, right?" And I think it was like $5, right? An old organ, little kitty organ, right?
Mhm.
Got that. Then there was a guitar, right? That I
Mhm.
saw at a garage sale, and I'm a little kid. Bought that. I convinced my parents to buy me a set of drums. So in my room, I had drums, guitars, pianos. I didn't have a saxophone. I didn't even really understand what a horn instrument would really do. Um, So now fast forward. So I learned how to play those instruments enough to get by, right? Like at the age of 9 or 10, I remember playing my uncle teaching me how to play Mr. Magic on the organ, right?
Whoa, amazing.
Simple. Jump, 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 jump. And I'm like, oh, this is cool, right? So then I go to drums and play the drums. And, all right, now, dun 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 dun
Yeah.
really simple song, right? To if you listen and pick it up, and I had other people teaching me too.
Yeah.
But I remember in the fourth or fifth, I remember in fifth grade, beginning of the fifth grade, uh, this guy came to our school and he played a saxophone, he played a trombone, he played a trumpet, right? And and I just remember being locked in on him. And my teacher came and tapped me on the shoulder and said, "I can tell you are so captivated. You're gonna play one of those one day." And sure enough, I did. And I thank my parents for believing. Because you think about it, look, guitar, drums, piano. Now this guy, he wants to go pick up a saxophone, right? I'm not even like 13 or anything yet, right?
Yeah.
Just about the money and what they invested in, right? They did take the leap and give me the saxophone. I talked to them, I was thinking about that a few weeks ago, and I just called them randomly, just thanking them for doing that. As a parent now, I can see
you can see
thinking and going through like, oh my gosh, which one, right?
They're all trying to steer you, like we had talked about earlier before we came on the set. They were trying to steer you where they felt like, okay, well, maybe this is what he's supposed to do. They're trying to make sure you get to, your purpose align. I believe trying to align you where you're supposed to be. They were trying to help you get there.
Yep, so true, so true.
Yeah, it's so sweet. That is so sweet.
You said something about the first teacher. I don't. I was thinking about this. I don't remember. I remember. I can see them, but I don't remember their names. Like my first
music teacher.
First music teacher. I remember my worst music teacher. Won't name the names there. Yeah. And I remember three teachers that made a big impression on me. One didn't have anything to do with music, but had to do with character and perseverance.
That's it.
It was his name is Wayne Rodrigue. So Mr. Rodrigue out of Baton Rouge, right? He was my 7th grade social studies teacher. And he just looked at me like you're looking at me one day, right? He saw me, and I wouldn't give up, right? And he said, "You have character." And he said in front of the class, he said, that guy there has character, right? He's not a quitter. And I was like, "Who, me? You just gave me an F on the right?" But he was,
that was a test. I guess he's trying to see, hey, he's either going to quit or he's going to stay. Right. And you stayed.
I stayed, right? It was a particular hard project that I had to get my footing on. The other two teachers that I'd really, like I mentioned before, George Edwards and Mark Phillips, right? They were at that time the music band directors at Prairie View A&M. And, George Edwards, he and I would talk one-on-one a lot separately because he thought, like, you just came from Grambling, right? And you want to join the band? Now, when you join the band, you're a crab. A crab is you're brand new, right?
Brand new,
brand new, right? So you wear t-shirts every day. Everyone else gets to wear what they want. I'm older. I'm 2 years older than the freshmen, right? So I already have credits about 2 years at Grambling. And so he found that interesting, right? And like I said, he was performing different places on the side as well. And I'd always ask him, "So what's it like to play in the club, right? What how do you do that? What?"
Mhm,
He always
mhm.
said, "Just worry about band right now, right?"
Just
So
really
Dr. Prof Phillips um, really tapped into my curiosity of things, right? And I wanted to learn how to play tuba.
Mhm.
So I'm a brand new band member. I am learning how to play tuba, and I'm pledging at that time Kappa Kappa Psi.
Kappa Kappa Psi. I remember that. We had that on our yard too.
Yeah, yeah. So their support, their belief in me, right? Um, and their established program, this new guy coming in and new, and curious. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
you know, they those are the two teachers, right? And if you notice what I'm saying, it wasn't just about music. I think music is so broader than what people understand it to be. Right?
Mm-hmm.
To have
Mm-hmm.
passion in the field and to be able to touch people, you have to have a human side to it as well, right? And those guys, those three gentlemen, really tapped into me a different way that was life changing at each point of meeting them.
Yes, yes. We had some shout outs I wanted to mention real quickly. Anita, she is saying awesome. And then Mr. Orange 31. These are all YouTube listeners, viewers. So
Okay.
you're doing a great job. We're so glad that you had those mentors and pillars in your early life to help develop you and get you, to where you are now. Because to hear you sit here and reminisce about all of those who poured into you, that is really amazing. It's very, yeah. And I hope they can go and watch this video on YouTube later. Some of your teachers and
So George Edwards is no longer here. He passed away. I think in 2000. I think it was 2012 time frame,
mm,
2011. But Mr. Rodriguez and Prof Phillips, they're still here. So hopefully they'll get a chance to see this.
amen, amen. If you're just tuning in, this is saxophonist Terry Thomas. He just played at South by Southwest here in Austin just last weekend. Can you believe it? A 1 week later, and now he's here on the show. This is absolutely amazing. We got a picture here that we're gonna share with you guys. Just a promo picture here. There it is. Yeah, he's doing his thing with his saxophone. Guys, you got to check him out. I mean, you can play just about any genre of music too. I forgot to mention that you're not just jazz. Can you play, like, say if a rock band wanted to hire you, could
Oh
you?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I love that. Right.
Yeah.
So from rock to country to R&B to jazz, you name it, the saxophone is such a beautiful instrument. It's a singer. It's a voice of a singer. It's just
Yeah.
it's just a metal instrument, but it could whether it's a raspy voice or a hard voice, and you have different types of saxophones. Right? So I have all three. Well, I have tenor, soprano, alto, and an electric saxophone too. They call it an EWI. So there's only one saxophone I don't have, and that's a Barry. That's the big one with the low register, the real deep um, sound. It's not really built for solo performances. The others are.
Yeah.
So pick a voice, right?
Pick
Rock,
a voice.
right? Classical, saxophone can play it. You have to be a good steward of your instrument, right? It's not just like picking it up and playing it. You have to it's sensitive, right? You have to know how to hold your mouth, what to do with it as far as bending and playing specific notes. You brought up the topic of no squealing, no,
Yeah.
right? That takes work, right? So
It
for any
takes work.
saxophonist out there, just keep at it. It takes time, right? But yeah, saxophone can play any. It can really
Any
any.
genre, any pretty much, yeah. You can do gospel, you can do rock, you can do jazz. You
Yes.
name it. Saxophone rules. Because I what was that rock group? Who can it be now? Dun, 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 dun.
Men at work.
Yeah, Men at Work. Yeah, I used to love that song. I just
Good
really,
point. You got
Huh?
Men at Work, right?
Network.
Song. You had Wham, George Michael.
Bam. That's true. That's true.
And,
And
uh,
Huey Lewis in the News too.
Bruce Bruce
Bruce
Springsteen,
Springsteen.
right? And then you got artists like Stevie Wonder and Prince,
Yeah.
and you have trying to think of a country song that has, but I play country songs and just take the lead with saxophone on them,
Yeah.
right? And I get a lot of those type of requests at weddings, like Bonnie Ray's version of "I Can't Help You Love Me,"
Yeah.
Tennessee Whiskey, right?
Yeah.
You name it. But yeah, that's a good example how you brought up Men at Work, and there's so many others that had saxophones. I think it's going to make a comeback too, because you look at Bruno Mars,
Yeah.
been
Oh
hit,
yeah.
hit after hit,
Hit
and
after
a lot of
hit.
those songs have saxophone back in them.
Saxophones backing them up. That's it.
Mhm.
Man, I can't believe time is up. We've had so much fun. The people are chiming in on YouTube, giving us love. Thank you so much, Anita. She said she loved country music. It's so romantic. And then Robert Claiborne, he commented from Facebook. He said, I didn't know there were 3 different types of saxophones. Great information. Anita, she also said you have amazing guests. So everybody, you guys are amazing. Thank you for tuning in. Any shout outs before we go, Terry? We got to get those in.
Oh, shout outs to the band members. All You Need, Rick, Chris, Kirk, Andrea, the camp, Derek Montgomery, George Pettis, right? I want to shout out to those guys. And if you want to see us, just check out the schedule. I have to make some changes, but you'll see some upcoming dates with us performing.
Mm-hmm.
I can't speak to all of them right now. We're still in negotiating on some of the dates, but there are some.
You got April 18th. You got one coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Everyone should go to that. The Bakari event. It's a really special event hosted on the 18th and it's at the Junior League of Austin. It's a very special event. It's for families that have suffered losses due to violent crimes. We have the honor and pleasure of being the entertainment for that night. And so we're going to bless them and hopefully lift up their spirits. And if you can support, I'm speaking of the ones,
the ones chiming in. Yeah.
These do come through. And of course, we'll be at, I'll be. So all you need to be at Bakari's. Yeah. Terry Thomas as a soloist artist, and I may have some guests that come in, but I'll be as a solo artist back at SALT on April 1st and April 19th.
There you go.
Third
Easter Sunday, right?
Right. Easter Sunday.
Yeah, so this man is busy. You better book him while you can. How can they book you, Terry? Just go to your website. Go to the Terry.
Yeah, go to my website. You'll see there's a widget there to immediately submit a request to get a quote, or you can just contact me, right? And we can work directly on a quote and availability. I'd love to perform. I love to perform. So
I know he's amazing, guys. He comes to your table. I mean, he just doesn't stand in his area all night long. I mean, he works the crowd. He knows how to keep you engaged, and I personally witnessed it, and that's why he's on the show tonight. Thank you so much. Any last words of encouragement before we wrap up, Terry?
Life is a journey, right? Life is a journey. I would encourage anyone. It's a tough time now. I know people are going through various things, and some people are blessed and not going through tough things. Wherever you are, I strongly believe that that's where God wants you to be, and to trust that positioning and look forward to the next step. Right? Don't quit. But there is a next step there. Just don't quit.
We love you, Terry. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon. You're always welcome to come back, and we'll see you guys back here next week on Bring It In.